All right, hey, we are going to cut some dovetails and make a drawer tonight using the Porter Cable 4210 dovetail jig. And I'm going to do this step by step with the instructions as if I've never done it before. I have actually done this twice on this jig, so this will be the third go round. So I have a little bit of experience, but I thought I would do a video for those of you who maybe haven't used this before or are considering buying it and may want to see how it works. I will tell you, I have a Lee dovetail jig, and I actually prefer this Porter Cable jig. All right, for starters, we're going to lay out our work pieces. Do that over here a little bit. Another clamp on this jig. Hold it to the bench. It's got these little flanges here that look like they've got holes in them that you can bolt them to the bench, or what I like to do with stuff like that is bolt it to a piece of plywood or melamine that sticks out further, and then you can clamp that to your bench. But in this case, I haven't gotten around to that yet. So that's going to be the front. That's going to be the back. The sides. We're going to get a pencil. We're going to lay it out just like the manual says to. All right, so we're going to go inside, 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 inside. And then we're going to go A, B, B, C, C, you guessed it, D, D. Then we're going to go T for tails, T for tails, P for pins, P for pins. All right, and we are ready to rock. We're actually not doing through dovetails. We're doing half blind dovetails. So we're going to flip over here to half blind dovetails. Clamp the pinboard to front. Let's start over. Instructions. All right, pinboard, drawer front. That's this guy. I'm going to even put front on here. All right. Clamp the pinboard in the upper clamp with the outside of the board facing the jig. This is the inside. So it's going to go in here like so. Approximately there. Secure the template on top of the board. Ensure the flatness by holding one hand on the template. So we're going to hold our hand on that template. We just want to make sure that this template sits flat on this board, and then we tighten up the knobs that hold the template in place. All right, so now we're flat on that board. This is free to go. It's actually not even clamped in here. I'll show you clamped it in here first. This actually has sandpaper underneath the clamp as well, which really helps grip that board. I'm going to double check this is flat here. All right, so now we know our template is flat. All right, move the left offset guide all the way to the left. That's this guy over here. I already had it loosened. Comes with a little T-handle wrench. I'm going to move it all the way to the left. Tighten it up. Clamp the tail board, drawer side. It's this guy. In lower clamp with the outside facing the jig. So that's going to go. We want this D. D is our first joint, right? A, D. So we're going to go this way with the outside facing the jig. And we're going to go up to there. Center the board between the farthest finger on the left and the nearest finger on the right. And we're going to actually center this about there. Clamp it in place. Move the left offset guide. All right, so in order to do this, and they don't really say this piece has to move again. Get out of your way. Now you can move the offset guide over to meet that board and tighten it down. Reposition the pin board. That's this guy, so that it's flush against the offset guide. So this offset guide has a different spacing here. So this accounts for the spacing that you need for the dovetails. So this board is up against this part. I don't know if you can see that. So I can just camera off here. So this has an offset here. So this board sits up against this part, which gives you exact spacing when you move this board, the pin board, up against the top part. So we're going to get that in place. Make sure that it's flush to our template and up against the offset guide. We're going to clamp it in place. We've got a good seam right along here. Now the template is supposed to be lined up where this groove is right along your seam between your boards, and actually I'm pretty doggone close. I'm going to leave it just as it is, but if you needed to adjust that, you do that with these knurled spacer nuts down here on the knobs that secure the template in place. There's a knurled knob to adjust the depth in and out this way, but I am right on the seam, so I'm in good shape. I did one the other day and it was about the same thickness of this, so we're in good shape. Set the router bit depth. I am not going to mess with the router bit depth because I did test ones the other day and I'd say they came out all right. I'm not going to complain about that. The next step is to get our router over here. We know that the depth is already set. And I'm going to put on my respirator because I hate dust down my throat and up my nose. And then I'm going to put on my hearing protection. Then I'm going to stop talking. And we're going to do a climb cut from right to left across the front of this board. And then we're going to dive in and just follow the template. Now is the moment of truth. Not bad. Pretty tight. I'll take it. So I'm going to do the rest of this and we're going to make this a drawer. And once you have the template set up, the rest of the pieces go a lot faster because all you have to do is make sure that you have them all lined up against that offset guide and flush against each other before you clamp them in place. I don't know if you can see that, but I did that. Hold on, get this camera down here. I started up that router, and that bit was right up against that edge, and I split that piece right out. So I'm going to have to glue it up and clamp it before I even attempt to cut that last little bit, otherwise I'm going to tear the hell out of it. But you can see I just cut all four corners. Well, only start to finish, maybe 15 minutes from the time I started this video. Pretty easy. Quarter cable 4210, and if you want to do through dovetails, you can get this template, which allows you to do through dovetails and box joints. I haven't tried either of those yet. My plan was to do through dovetails on the backs of the drawers, but since I knew how easy this was going to work, I wanted to at least get one drawer done before I carried on with something different. More to come. Thanks for watching. I'll take it. They could be a little looser, and I probably will play with the router depth. That's how you set the looseness of the joint, is the depth of the router bit. I'll probably play with it on some test pieces. However, I am out of lumber. I have to go get some more tomorrow, hopefully. And we'll keep moving forward.